Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. In my life, under various capacities, I had a chance to meet between about 30 and 40 German nationals. And whenever I had a chance, and that was most of the time, I asked them questions regarding their nation, about their history, and most importantly about their what they thought about the 30s, 1930s, and 1940s. They were almost all afraid to talk about it and very defensive. They thought that depending on the relationship, they thought that I would be next. My next step would be to shame them and blame them for something they did not do. Well, I didn't do that. So depending on the relationship I had with various people, they opened up and allowed me to ask them certain questions, and I thought they answered honestly. Some people just avoided, and I realized that they didn't want to share with me. But one thing that I realized from most of these people that I met, the German people, was that they were intelligent and knowledgeable. And most of them knew who's who, what's what. And they knew why they are not supposed to say certain things and who's in charge. Okay? That was my take on them. Now you know that Germany, under certain kind of circumstances, or I don't know, moral blackmail, was supposed to provide Ukraine with many weapons and support and vote for money and all that. The problem is the German people, sometimes they're pushed to a corner and then they react and they are themselves. I think they already had enough because certain kind of questions start to be asked of their Chancellor, Olaf Scholz. Olaf Scholz is trying to avoid stepping on shit. My analogy with being in a dark alley, and there's a lot of doo-doo and you don't really see it, but you try to jump around so you don't step on it. Well, this is Germany, this is Olaf Scholz. For reasons I will not get into right now, because they shouldn't. Germany is a strong, good country, good people. But anyway, we all make mistakes and we should not be held accountable if we didn't do something. So I'm not going to be guilty for something that my grandfather did. Correct? Correct. Nevertheless, they are kept in the same crossfire of blaming, shaming, and you're guilty of something that you're not. Anyway, what's going on here with this article? We have Olaf Scholz, who is the Chancellor of Germany, and he was asked some pertinent questions. This article comes from Sputnik from today, the 16th of December 2022. And the question is, where's the money for your own population? That's the question. That's the title. Scholz mocked over 18 billion euro Ukraine aid remarks. So this weasel, who is Olaf Scholz, right here, he agreed to give Ukraine anything. He probably is going to give them tanks, and not only. Because, the guys in charge of Ukraine are 4 Jews. He's German. What do you think? So, why am I saying they're Jews? Well, Zelensky, Shmihal, Reznikov, Yermak, go and check them out. Okay? They're in charge of this Ukrainian country. It's a coincidence. And what's wrong with that? Oh, nothing. Anyway, a poll conducted by the German think tank INSA in late November indicated that at least 55% of Germans dislike Olaf Scholz's work as a chancellor, against 39% of those surveyed in March. Twitter users lashed out at German Chancellor Olaf Scholz's remark about Europe's resolute reaction to resolving issues related to the EU's aid to Ukraine and the West's anti-Russian sanctions. And I'm quoting, Europe is reacting resolutely and powerfully powerfully to the current crisis. Another 18 billion euro to Ukraine, the ninth sanctions package against Russia, new impetus for the EU expansion process, and global minimum taxation for large companies. Those are good results. End quote. Scholz tweeted on Thursday. You should think how much is that going to help his country, correct? Which is, yes, Deutschland, Germany. One user noted that they wonder, and I'm quoting, where these $18 billion euros come from, while another was quick to answer, from your salary. Well, I explained that on many occasions how the whole scheme works. You know, there's a threat, we need to arm ourselves, we need weapons, but we don't have the money. Okay, but we have the people who might pay for it. So you have the government getting a loan, the loan will pay for the weapons from the United States military industrial complex. The weapons are going to come, okay? The people, and then it's going to be sent to, or the weapons, really German weapons, or the aid going to go to Ukraine. Who's going to get the bill? The German people, the taxpayers. So that's how the whole thing goes. The bankers are happy, the military industrial complex is happy, and obviously if we extrapolate this to the energy companies, they're happy too because of what's going on with the energy caps and energy sanctions. And I'm quoting, 18 billion euros to Ukraine? Are you crazy? Another tweeted, and adding that almost 10 to 15 million German citizens either already live in poverty or on the poverty line, and that your ridiculous increase of 50 euros in citizen income is a mockery when inflation is over 10 to 15%. Well, that's reality, and as I said, Germans are not idiots. And when you can hide sometimes behind a pseudonym or a pen name or anonymous, you know, then you are courageous. You know, so you can say certain things when you hide behind a computer. And nobody can know who the hell is this guy, and yeah, his name is this, but his real name you don't know, and all that. But the government knows everything about you. Don't worry about that one. So 18, I'm quoting, 18 billion? And where is the money for your own population? End quote. A separate Twitter message reads, with one more user writing that they feel like they have read about 18 billion euros for Ukraine 42 times now. Has something arrived there, or will it remain the same as will the weapons? With some announcements and delays, they tweeted. So basically they are upset about the money that they give to a foreign country, foreign nation, not having their own house in order, but they care about them. And they will be the ones that eventually going to pay for whatever these weasels, the politicians, are going to provide to Ukraine. So what are you going to do about it? The beautiful mantra goes like this. You go and vote. Go and pay your taxes. Work within the system. Okay, work within the system. And who are you going to elect? Another weasel? So this is how the German population is made to pay for other nations for the decisions made by their elected officials who are on the payroll of other interests. It's okay. I'm pretty sure the Germans know that, and I don't know how they will act towards changing this. The German government supposedly uncovered a coup attempted by a nobleman, a prince, I can't remember his name, Henry the 13th or something like that. And they say, coded, not coded. Supposedly they had some connection with the military and the security services. So it's not like he's just a crazy guy over there, even though he's portrayed to be like that. And it seems like he has some connections with some unhappy government workers. Well, I hope everything goes in a democratic way, and people will be able to have their say and change this pervert way of doing politics, which unfortunately is when you have the big business with the politicians and the mass media. You know how that's called? It doesn't have to be nationalist to be called that way. Otherwise we would call Gandhi that, and we'll call Mandela that, because they were nationalists. Though we don't call them Nazis, right? No, we don't. So that's not the ingredient that keeps the Nazis together. The nationalist is more than that. So if you look at the nationalist aspect in the Nazis, you're going to find that in other leaders who are nationalists. So it's much more than that. So anyway, is the connection or the cahoots, the relationship between big business, government, and the mass media. You say, well, a nationalist trend. Could be or not, I don't care. These guys are just tyrants. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.